Hello all my dear students and welcome once again to Sri Jendra Rank Zone classes, and I am Amit Ajmani, your mentor. I hope you all are doing good and your studies are going on well. In today's class students, I'll be discussing about report writing. We'll be checking out what exactly are reports and how these reports are written. The goals and the learning objectives of this particular chapter is to enable the learners to understand the concept of report writing and to familiarize the students with the various formats of report writing depending upon for what purpose we are writing a report and where it is going to be published. We'll see that later in the chapter. Now, we also need to learn the use of appropriate language and the styles for different types of reports. We need to identify the different types of reports and we need to understand the differing formats for various types of reports. Using appropriate language, using appropriate style, organizing the content logically and systematically is the objective of doing this chapter. We need to state the findings, the report events, and we need to do them objectively. And after learning all these, we will be practicing how to write different types of reports. So with all these objectives, let us try to understand what exactly a report actually is. A report is an account given of a particular event or a particular issue or any particular subject, especially in the form of an official document. And this report, this account is always written after thorough investigation or after thorough consideration of an appointed person or body. So an appointed person or an appointed body is going to investigate and consider. Then only this report is written. And this report is written for a defined purpose and for a specific audience. The information and evidence is objectively and in clear and concise manner they are represented. We need to be concise and to be direct and to be straightforward while writing our views or the events. That is what exactly the purpose of report is. Now these reports are of various types that we'll be studying one by one. The first type of reports are the newspaper reports. That is the reports which are just published and printed in the newspapers that we see on a daily basis as to what all events or incidents have taken place in which part of our city and country. Second type of reports are the magazine reports. There are so many types of magazines of varied subjects. The reports written there are altogether different from the newspaper reports. And then the third type of reports that we need to understand are the official reports which are meant for various organizations. So these are the three types of reports we'll be focusing upon in this chapter. Let us try to understand the first important thing, that is the format of various types of reports. Now since we have got three different types of reports meant for different purposes, that is why there is difference between the format of all these three types of reports. So let us understand them one by one. First of all, we'll be discussing about the format of newspaper reports. We know that in newspapers, everything that comes is a current event or a current happening. You cannot get 10 days back information in today's newspaper. You cannot get 1 month, 2 month back event in today's newspaper, because newspaper deals with only current events, current happenings. So the newspaper reports are the accounts of these current events and happenings. How to write these reports? First of all, we will write the title, that is the headline. Then we write the byline, that is the name of the author who is writing this report. Then we need to specify the place and the date. The date is not always mentioned, and usually when we are talking about practical in newspapers, the date is not mentioned because on the top of the newspaper the date is already given. Fine, but theoretically at times we'll be writing place as well as date. Then comes the main part, that is the body of report. That is the detail and description of the event or the incident or the happening. Fine. So this is how a newspaper report is written. Next comes the magazine reports. Now these magazine reports are written to give account of specific events that have taken place. For example, the India International Fashion Week, or the school annual day, or the book fair, or the international trade fair that was being organized. And because we are talking about these kind of specific events, these magazine reports are not always current. Why? Because magazines are not printed on a daily basis just like newspapers. Magazines are monthly or bi-monthly or quarterly or even annual magazines. So that is why if it is a monthly magazine, then throughout the month, all the specific events that have taken place, which are worth writing down or publishing in the magazine, only they are included. So they are not actually the current events. How to write? The title or the headline, that will be there. Then of course by, that is the name of the author who is writing, and directly body of the report. Now the difference is that in newspaper reports we need to specify the place and date, which we are not actually doing in magazine report. The reason, I think it's quite easy to understand, that when we are talking about a newspaper, the circulation of newspaper is very wide. It goes into almost all the parts of a particular state or even the country. So that is why we need to specify. If we are talking about Delhi, Delhi is very big. If we are talking about Uttar Pradesh, it is very big. We are talking about Maharashtra or Gujarat or Punjab or Tamil Nadu or Kerala, they are very big. So where exactly in Punjab, where exactly in Uttar Pradesh this event has taken place, that is why we need to specify the place. Why? Because this newspaper is going to the other parts of Uttar Pradesh and Punjab and Haryana and Delhi also. Clear? Now the third type of reports are the formal or the official reports, which are meant for specific organizations. Now these official reports are very complex documents, and these are normally of important projects and proposals. For example, the results of studies and experiments, or the proposals for launching a new product. So these type of official reports are written in a bit different manner. How different? First of all, we'll be giving a heading, then we'll be specifying to and from. Just like you write the mails, this is how these reports are written. Then we note down the date and a particular subject is given. After that, the introduction part is done, and then we need to give the details of the task and the reasons for it. We'll be doing these three reports one by one in detail, so not a concern, not a worry. If you are not able to understand specifically the official reports, we'll be doing lot many examples of it, after which you will be able to relate how they are written. So these are the three basic reports, and these are the formats of all the three types of reports. In the official reports, we have got the main body, the information, resources, material use, description of task, result, conclusion, evaluation and suggestions. Lot many things are there, right? Depending upon the organization, these are written, that we'll be doing in detail. There is another format in which it may be written. First of all, the title page, that includes two, that is the name of the person to whom the report is being submitted to, from the name and the department from where the report is coming, the date of submission, the acknowledgements, that is a list of people and organizations that help you in collecting the data or the research work or in any other respect of getting the report ready. Then we will include table of contents, which includes a clear list of all the sections and subsections of the report. Then we need to summarize the report. We'll be giving a summary of all the major points, the conclusions and recommendations should be written to give a general idea of the report. In the introduction part, we tend to explain the problem and make clear to the reader why the report has been written, what is the purpose of this report. Then various findings are specified. We need to give the details of the information that has been collected, the material that has been used, the methods that have been utilized, and the conclusions or the results arrived at. After that, we will include the conclusions, the implications, and inferences of the findings based on the facts which are described in the main body. The importance of the study is discussed in this section, how we'll do in detail. After that, the recommendations, all the type of suggestions and proposals are given which are based on information and the data collected. And finally, bibliography or references. We include a list of all the sources which have been referred in order to write the text of the report. So this is in totality a quite complex one, right? Now these official reports which are written, they as such do not have any specified or fixed format. Why? Because these are meant for various different organizations, and most of the organizations have their own formats, they have their own styles that are used by their employees. Moreover, there are differences in types of official reports. For example, if we are preparing a company's annual report, that is different. The audit reports, altogether different. The financial reports, again different from both the annual as well as audit. Fine. So we'll be discussing all these in lot many detail further. So no need to worry about these. But whether you are writing a newspaper report or you are writing a magazine report or the official report, you need to remember a few points before writing a report and while writing a report. What are these points? Let us try to understand them one by one. And this section is one of the most important one, because after gaining the understanding of the topic, we need to actually focus upon these points, because it's immaterial what we have understood. The basic purpose is to write it, and if we are making any kind of error while writing it, we are losing the purpose. Fine. So let us see all the important points to be kept in mind. The first thing is that all reports are objective, and there is no place for your personal opinions or perceptions or emotions or feelings in any report. Fine. The reports are totally unbiased. You are actually just reproducing the event or the incident in your language, but without providing any of your personal opinion or perception about it. What you think of the matter, whatever your suggestions are, whatever your recommendations are, which you are using while writing a report, they are also based on the facts and data. They are not your subjective views. You have to provide some fact, some data, some evidence on the basis of which the suggestions and recommendations will be mentioned. So this is the first point that we need to remember while writing any particular report. Secondly, whenever we are writing anything, whether it is the minutes of the meeting or any official communication or the article writing, the most important aspect is we need to keep in mind the target audience. We need to foresee for whom are we writing this report, who will be the readers of our report, because accordingly we are going to structure our report. We are going to use the specific or generalized vocabulary so that it should be convenient for the readers to understand, to comprehend, because this is what our purpose is. This report I am not writing for myself, I am writing it for others. And if the others for whom I am writing the report, they are not actually able to get your idea, if they are not able to comprehend, then once again we have lost the purpose. Our whole effort goes futile, goes in vain, it becomes useless. So the target audience needs to be kept in mind. The third important thing to remember is that the personal pronouns in first and second person are generally not used in a report. We try to avoid using words like I, me, my, we, us, you, our. These are normally not used in a report, because reports, number one, there are no personal opinions. Number two, you are just and just representing some event in your words. Just try to relate that you were present there when that event or incident was taking place, and now you are actually explaining that event in your own words, right? So the personal pronouns in first and second person are generally not used. The reports are normally written in third person. Next thing to remember and take care of is passive voice is preferably used in writing the newspaper and magazine reports. While if we are writing an official report, then active voice can be used. Active and passive voice we have already done. So I hope that you know what exactly is the difference between active and passive voice. So you need to make sure that when you are writing a newspaper or a magazine report, try to make use of passive voice. And while writing an official report, try to use active voice. Here, the next and the very important thing is that past tense is mostly made use of in report writing. Why? Because we are reporting some happenings, some events which have already taken place. So, all the events, all the activities, all the happenings that have taken place, they need to be specified in past tense only. But there are certain things. If you are quoting somebody's words, if you are quoting somebody's speech, then whatever he or she has said, you may use in the present or the future tense also. Trying to take an example of it. For example, if I say that there was a seminar being conducted by any organization, maybe the United Nations or the BHU or the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, etc., etc., or any political seminar or meeting conducted, in that case, whatever happened there, you are going to represent in past tense. That the minister came at about this time, the meeting started at about this time, all the MLAs were present, then these things were discussed, this is how it ended. During the meeting, the minister said that he is looking into the matter and definitely he will work out for some solution very soon. Right? So present and past are actually differentiated on the basis of if we are talking about any event of the happening, that is to be written in past tense. I hope you are able to get the idea as to where we'll be using past tense, and it is not necessary that everything has to be in past tense. No, there are certain times that we are using the present as well as future tense also in our report, but the happenings and the events, I repeat, all those things which have already taken place and ended, of course, because they have ended, because they have already taken place, they need to be represented in past tense. Clear? Next thing that you need to keep in mind is the language should be clear. There should be no ambiguity. The report should be concise and to the point. You should not try to just stretch it, and you should make sure that you are not repeating the points or the ideas, because the repetitions, they are not acceptable. And for this purpose, we actually do not include long winding sentences. We do not include any vague information, and we do not use any non-essential or irrelevant material. So we avoid using such things in order to make our report short, concise, to the point, and clear. Okay. Another point to be taken care of is technical jargon and subject specific terminology is best avoided. Why so? The reason is that this report is meant for various people of various fields, and all the people cannot understand all the technicalities, all the terminology. If you are including such terminology, then in that case you need to add a glossary for it. If there are certain terms that are necessary, that are mandatory for you to add, you need to specify what exactly they mean. Got it? So this is also quite important, and this is related to our point that we need to keep our target audience in mind. Whom are we writing this report for? Who are all the people who are going to read this report? And accordingly, we should use our vocabulary. Clear? Now, in a report, whatever information you are providing, that information should be organized logically and coherently. This is one of the very important things. It comes under the overall presentation of any writing skill. The ideas should not be mixed up. They should not be messed around. The readers should not pause or stop abruptly just because there is a change in thought all of a sudden. Fine. So we need to organize our information that it should come in a smooth flow. There are certain reports which are written in the chronological order. Chronological order means we need to follow the sequence in which the event occurred. If we are talking about any particular ceremony or an event taken place, obviously at 10 a.m. the minister or the chief guest arrived. At 10:30 he did all the prayers and everything. At 11 there was a program or the function started or a presentation made. At 11:30 another presentation made. At 12 o'clock then there were certain snacks served. So we cannot write it in a different manner. We cannot write that the snacks were served at 12 and the chief guest arrived at 10. Then at 11:30 Mr. X presented, and at 10:30 the chief guest lit the lamp and did the prayers to start the show. Getting my point? So we need to follow this chronological order, this sequence, because we are describing the event as and when it took place. So accordingly, we need to organize our information. And if we are writing a report which is poorly structured, which is unorganized, which is not in chronological order, that report is going to make no sense to the reader. And this is what we do not want, simply. So after organizing the points, after writing the report, one very important thing that obviously in English everywhere we are going to take care of is we need to avoid any grammatical or syntax errors. If there is a grammatical error or if there are syntax errors, that is going to put our report in a very poor light. So that will be creating a very bad impression on the reader. And that is why it is always advised that after writing a report, you need to get it proofread for accuracy. Clear? So these are all the points which we need to remember. Now there is a flow chart which is given, which explains the sequence involved in report writing. Let us try to relate the sequence. First of all, when we are talking about a writer, what he does is he observes and he collates the information about what exactly was the event, what exactly was the happening. Fine. Then he presents this particular information of the event or happening for the general reader in order to bring knowledge or information to public domain. Clear? And this is mainly published in newspapers and magazines. So if we are talking about a newspaper or a magazine report, what the writer is going to do is the writer is going to observe if he is present at that time when the event just happened. He collates the information of the event or happening, or he actually gathers the information. If he is not physically present there, he gathers those who were actually the onlookers, who were physically present. So that is a second hand information obtained from the first hand, the people who actually witnessed that. Fine. Then he tends to deliver it for general reader to bring knowledge and for the information of the public. This is what a newspaper or a magazine report does, right? But when we are talking about the official reports, then in that case, the writer researches, he investigates, and he gathers the information. Now, this research, this investigation, this information is related to any particular issue or a problem or any particular phenomena. Now, when we are talking about this word particular, the issue is particular, the problem is specific, the phenomena is particular, that simply means that it is not meant for general reader, it is for defined specific readers. Fine. So these type of reports are not for the general public. These are for defined readers. We already know whom this report is being targeted to, because these type of reports have a specific purpose, and this specific purpose is related to these specific people, the specific group of readers. And these reports, these are generally not published, or even if they are published, they are for selected audience. For example, the annual reports of the companies. Now, if the annual report of a company is published, I, being a teacher, I am not interested in Hindustan Unilever or Coal India or Indian Oil or Reliance or Airtel or ICICI Bank. Why should I be concerned? So even though the report has been published, but I am not their target audience. This report doesn't have any kind of relativity to me. Fine, because I am not concerned with any of these companies I named. So this is for selected audience. This is for the shareholders of that particular company. This is meant for the investors or the potential investors of the company who want to know the annual report, the financial status, the financial position, the sales figures of the company, the profitability of the company, because either they have already invested or they are thinking to invest. And that is why they are trying to gather information about the company so that they should know whether their investment will be fruitful or not. So these kinds of reports, the audit reports, the annual reports, they are not for general public. They are not meant for all. Only very defined readers are selected for which these type of reports are written. So these are the various steps, these are the various things that a writer keeps in mind if he is writing a particular report, depending upon whether it is a newspaper report or a magazine report or an official report of any organization, any company. Got it? So these are the three types of reports. Let us try to relate once again what all we have studied till now. We have studied the various objectives of doing this chapter, theoretical part. Now, we need to know what exactly a report is. A report is an account given of a particular event or issue or subject, especially in the form of official document, and this is done after thorough investigation or consideration by an appointed person or body. Reports are meant for defined purposes and for specific audience. Three types of reports we need to make sure: newspaper reports, magazine reports, and the official reports for various companies and organizations. Then we related the formats of all these three types of reports. The format of a newspaper report that we'll be taking in detail. Then we did the format of a magazine report and the format of official reports. There were two formats given to us in official reports, which I think that just by reading the format, a normal person is not able to relate unless until you see the examples and you do them, which we'll be taking up definitely. So I'm not focusing much right now on the format of the official reports. Fine, these formats we'll be discussing in detail. Then very important, these are the various points you need to keep in mind. And among these, I'll be actually focusing on the main things. Reports are objective. You should avoid giving any personal opinion or perception or emotion or feelings. Right? Second thing is you need to keep the target audience in mind. Okay, kinds. Personal pronouns. I, me, we, us, you in first and second person are preferably not used. For writing newspaper and magazine reports, passive voice is preferred. For writing official reports, active voice is preferred. Regarding all the events and the happenings, past tense is used. Now these are the various things which actually are required, because your marks will be deducted if you do not take care of these things. Rest things are general. We need to keep the target audience. The language should be clear and concise and to the point. You do not have to use the specific terminology or the technical terms. Information should be organized, coherent. There should not be any grammatical mistakes. These are common things. But specific things that we have to take care are the things I have circled. Personal pronouns, first and second person, avoid them. No personal opinion needs to be given. Newspaper and magazine reports, passive voice is preferable. Official reports, active voice is preferable. All the happenings to be written in past tense. Got it? Then we just basically had an idea as to how a newspaper or magazine report or an official report is normally written. Got it? I'm winding up the class here only. Just read all these things, and in the next class I'll be discussing about these various reports in details with examples. We'll be looking forward for the application of what we have learned. We have understood how to write the format of reports, but using these formats, how actually reports will be written, that we are going to take up in the next class. So make sure that you know the formats, make sure that you have read and gone through all the points, and make sure that you are prepared for the next class, because when we'll be taking up the applications, the implementation of these, you should be able to relate it in 1 second. Clear? So let's catch up in the next class. Till then, take care of yourself, guys, and have a great time. Thank you so much. Goodbye, everyone.